All right, so get ready, because we're diving into something truly unique today. It's called the Codex Seraphinianus.
Yeah.
You've handed us what looks like a book at first glance,
It's
but
so much more than that.
it's more like some kind of visual encyclopedia.
Like from another dimension,
Yeah.
practically.
Yes.
It's fascinating what's in here. Incredibly detailed drawings of strange plants and animals machines.
Even figures that kind of look human.
Yeah, human-like, but rendered in this incredibly surreal style.
And here's where things get really interesting, right? The entire thing is written.
In a script no one has been able to figure out.
Yeah, nobody can decipher it.
It's like we're looking at a message from an alien civilization.
So for this deep dive, let's explore the Codex, see if we can unlock any of its secrets.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, let's start with just the visuals.
Okay.
Imagine you're holding the Codex. The cover itself is striking.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What do you see there?
Well, you've got this rainbow that arches across the top, and then there's this bizarre, almost bird-like creature soaring above it, and there, right in the Codex's mysterious script at the date 2005, it really sets the tone for the entire book. It's this blend of the familiar and the utterly alien.
And as you turn the pages, you're greeted by these incredibly intricate illustrations, so colorful. They almost remind me of like medieval manuscripts, but with this added layer of...
a futuristic feel to them.
Yeah, otherworldly.
Yeah, like the artist Luigi Serafini. It's like he took inspiration from the past and the future and blended them together to create something totally new. And he organized these illustrations thematically, so you'll find sections on plants, animals, machines, human activities.
Let's talk about some of those specific illustrations that really stand out.
Okay.
I mean, there's so many.
Yeah, there are so many.
But are there any that just really capture the Codex's style?
Let me see. One that comes to mind is this illustration of a tree, and it's going through this strange life cycle.
Okay.
It starts with the tree bearing fruit, and there's 1, then 2, then 3. But then the branches themselves turn into fruit. The leaves fall away, and the fruit seems to burrow into the ground.
What?
And then it leaves the tree bare, ready to start the cycle again.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like a visual metaphor for life, death, and rebirth, but with a very distinct Codex twist.
It's almost like these are scientific concepts like botany or biology, but filtered through this lens of fantasy surrealism.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Another one that I thought was interesting depicts what seems like the evolution of a humanoid figure.
Okay.
It starts as this basic form, almost stick-like, but then as you follow the sequence, it gradually becomes more complex, and ultimately it culminates in this fully formed, albeit rather alien-looking being.
So it's like visually representing evolution, but with his own take on it, his own interpretation.
Like a lot of the illustrations in the Codex, it seems to be hinting at these processes, transformation cycles, whether they're biological, technological, or even spirit. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's for the viewer to decide. Serafini's not giving us easy answers here. It really does encourage you to use your imagination.
And try to piece together what's going on, what the meaning is behind these images.
Exactly.
And that kind of brings us to the Codex's most perplexing element, the script.
Yeah.
It's this elegant, flowing writing, almost calligraphic, but it's completely unfamiliar characters and symbols.
Totally.
It's like looking at a language from another dimension.
It really is.
There are even sections that look like they could be alphabets.
Right.
Or numerical systems, with symbols paired with appear to be corresponding numbers.
Exactly. And that's what's captivated researchers and cryptographers for decades now. Is it genuine language? Is it some complex code? Or is it just artistic flourish?
Yeah.
There have been so many attempts to try to decipher the script, and so far none have been successful.
For example, Alan Turing.
Oh, wow.
The famous code breaker was reportedly fascinated by the Codex.
Really?
Yeah, he even dedicated some time to analyzing the script. But even he couldn't crack it.
Wow.
And then in the early 2000s, there was this team of linguists, and they used computational analysis to identify patterns and structures in the script.
Yeah.
And they found some interesting similarities to Indo-European languages, but ultimately they couldn't translate any meaningful passages.
So the mystery continues.
So the mystery remains.
Yeah.
And that just adds to the allure of the Codex, I think. It's this puzzle waiting to be solved, this message waiting to be deciphered.
Exactly. And the fact that it remains undeciphered just deepens the Codex's mystique.
Yeah.
And it really makes you wonder what secrets might lie hidden within those elegant flowing lines.
Yeah, what is it trying to tell us?
Exactly.
It's almost like he wanted to create this air of mystery. You know, this sense that there's something more to the Codex than we're seeing.
Absolutely. And that's where all the different interpretations come in, because there's no definitive answer, no key to unlock these secrets.
Yeah.
The Codex becomes like a canvas for our imaginations.
So let's explore some of those interpretations. What are some of the most common theories about what the Codex might be trying to tell us?
Well, one theory is that it's a hoax.
Okay.
It's a sophisticated work of art just meant to mystify and intrigue. Think of it like an elaborate puzzle box, designed to be admired more for its craftsmanship than to be solved.
But if it is a hoax, wouldn't Serafini have sold us by now?
Not necessarily. Some people think that maintaining the mystery is part of the art itself.
Okay.
That the joy lies in the endless speculation and debate that it provokes.
I can see that.
Yeah.
What are some of the other interpretations then?
Another theory is that the Codex offers a glimpse into a hidden world.
Okay.
Perhaps an alien civilization or even a secret society.
Yeah.
The illustrations with their strange creatures and these enigmatic symbols seem to support this notion.
It's like he's giving us this peek behind the curtain, showing us a reality that exists just beyond our normal perception.
Exactly. And people who believe this theory, they point to specific illustrations, like the ones depicting those complex machines that seem to defy our understanding of technology.
Right.
And they say that these could be representations of advanced technologies from another world or from this hidden group with knowledge that's been kept secret for centuries.
It's a tantalizing idea, isn't it, to think that the Codex might hold the key to unlocking these secrets that have been hidden from humanity for ages.
Yeah, absolutely. And then there's the theory that the Codex is a visual representation of dreams or the subconscious mind.
Okay, yeah.
Remember that dreamlike quality of the illustrations?
I do.
This theory suggests that Serafini was tapping into a deeper level of consciousness, expressing thoughts and ideas that are beyond language and logic.
It's like he's inviting us to explore the hidden landscapes of our own minds.
Precisely. People who support this theory, they say that the Codex is seemingly nonsensical imagery and that undecipherable script are reflections of the chaotic and often illogical nature of dreams. They suggest that by studying the Codex, we can gain a deeper understanding of our own subconscious processes.
So each interpretation offers kind of a different lens through which to view the Codex.
Yeah.
And each has its own compelling arguments.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the meaning remains elusive.
And that's the beauty of it. The Codex doesn't give us any easy answers. It invites us to engage with it on our own terms, to draw our own conclusions.
Right.
It's a work that continues to spark debate and discussion even decades after it was created.
It's like a Rorschach test, isn't it?
Yeah.
What you see in the Codex might say more about you in your own perceptions than it does about the book itself.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a reflection of our own hopes and fears and desires. And that's what makes it so powerful. It's a work that transcends language and culture and speaks to something very fundamental about the human experience.
And the Codex also seems to have this recurring theme of transformation and metamorphosis. There are so many illustrations of creatures and objects in various stages of change, almost like they're in this constant state of becoming.
If we connect that to the bigger picture, it seems to highlight a fascination with the cyclical nature of life, death, and rebirth.
Yeah.
There's this interplay between creation and destruction, growth and decay that's woven throughout the Codex. It's like watching a universe unfold in all its chaotic beauty.
Take, for instance, those otherworldly plants we were talking about.
Yeah.
They're shown sprouting, blooming, even seemingly decomposing all within the same page.
Right.
It's a visual representation of the circle of life, but with that surreal Codex twist.
And remember that sequence where the human figures transform into these crocodile-like beings? That one's particularly interesting because it blurs the lines between human and animal, suggesting this deeper connection between us and the natural world.
It's almost primal.
Yeah.
It's like the Codex is saying that nothing is static. Everything's in flux, constantly changing and evolving.
Exactly. And that includes us. The Codex invites us to embrace change, to see it not as something to be feared, but as an essential part of life.
But the Codex isn't all about transformation and rebirth.
Right.
It also delves into some darker themes, right? There are depictions of death, decay, even what look like anatomical dissections. It's not exactly light reading.
That's true. The Codex doesn't shy away from the less pleasant aspects of existence.
Yeah.
But perhaps that's also part of its power. It forces us to confront the full spectrum of life, the beauty and the ugliness, the joy and the sorrow.
It's a reminder that death and decay are as much a part of the natural order as birth and growth.
Right.
And by acknowledging them, we can gain a deeper appreciation for the preciousness of life.
Exactly. And let's not forget the Codex's sense of humor.
Oh, yeah.
Which is often dark and absurdist.
Yeah.
There are illustrations that are just plain funny.
Right.
Like the banana filled with pills.
Or the horse with a coat made of eyeballs.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
It is.
But it also brings a sense of levity to the Codex, reminding us not to take it all too seriously.
Yeah, it's like Serafini is saying, yes, life is strange and mysterious and sometimes terrifying.
Yeah.
But it's also absurd and funny, and ultimately we should embrace it all.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, the Codex is a celebration of the strange and the wonderful, the beautiful and the grotesque. It's a reminder that life is a tapestry woven from countless threads.
Right.
And that by embracing all of its complexities, we can truly experience its richness.
And that brings us back to the idea of the Codex as a dream journal, this visual representation of the subconscious mind.
Yeah.
The illogical imagery, the nonsensical scenarios, this blurring of boundaries between reality and fantasy. It all points to a world where logic and reason don't apply.
It's like Serafini has given us access to this hidden realm of the mind.
Yeah.
Where anything is possible, and the only limit is our own imagination.
And that's one of the most exciting things about the Codex. It encourages us to let go of our preconceived notions, to embrace the absurd, to explore the uncharted territories of our own minds.
Now, we can't talk about the Codex without mentioning that enigmatic script again.
Yeah, it's like this constant presence throughout the book.
Right.
Whispering secrets we can't quite grasp.
Right. It is visually captivating, though, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
The flowing lines, the intricate characters, that seeming consistency of its grammar. It looks like a language that could actually exist.
It really does.
And yet, despite all the attempts to decipher it, the meaning remains a mystery.
There have been some fascinating theories, though.
Like what?
Some researchers believe that the script might be based on a real-world language.
Okay.
Perhaps one that's ancient or extinct. Others think that it could be a completely invented language created by Serafini specifically for the Codex.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then there's the presence of numbers.
Right.
Are they purely decorative? Or do they hold some deeper significance, like a mathematical code or a calendar system?
It's a puzzle within a puzzle.
It really is. The Codex's script is this constant reminder that there are still secrets in the world waiting to be discovered, languages yet to be understood.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe one day someone will crack the code and unlock the Codex's hidden messages.
Yeah.
Until then, we can only marvel at its beauty and wonder what secrets lie hidden within those elegant, flowing lines.
And that's what makes the Codex so compelling. It's a work that sparks our curiosity, challenges our intellect, and invites us to embrace the unknown.
It really makes you think about what language even is. We think of it as words, sentences, grammar.
Right.
But the Codex suggests that maybe there are other ways to communicate, other forms of language that we haven't even considered.
What's fascinating is that the Codex forces us to rely on visual cues, on symbolism and imagery to try to understand its meaning.
Right.
It's like a visual language, one that speaks to a different part of our brain.
It's a reminder that communication is more than just words. It's about conveying ideas, emotions, experiences.
Yeah.
And sometimes words just aren't enough.
And Serafini, by using this unknown script, he's created a work that transcends language barriers. It's a book that anyone, regardless of their native tongue, could engage with and find meaning in.
Speaking of finding meaning, one of the things that strikes me about the Codex is its encyclopedic nature. It's structured like a textbook with sections on plants, animals, human anatomy, machines, even cosmology.
Right.
It's like he's trying to document an entire universe.
It has this internal consistency, a logic that governs this strange world.
Yeah.
You see recurring motifs and themes, these intricate diagrams, charts, and tables that suggest a level of scientific or mathematical precision, even if we can't quite grasp their meaning.
It's like we're looking at the textbook for a course we never took in a language we don't understand.
Yeah.
And yet we're drawn to it, compelled to try to make sense of it.
It invites us to become students of the unknown, to embrace the challenge of exploring a world that operates according to its own unique set of rules.
The Codex has often been compared to other enigmatic works like the Voynich manuscript.
Oh, yeah.
With its strange script and botanical illustrations.
Oh.
Or the art of M.C. Escher, with his mind-bending explorations of space and perspective.
I can see that.
All of these works share this sense of mystery and intrigue.
Absolutely.
They challenge our perception of reality and invite us to question what we think we know.
Yeah.
To consider the possibility that there are other ways of seeing and understanding the world.
It's like they're reminding us that there's still so much out there that we don't know.
Right.
So much left to discover and explore.
And in a world that often feels increasingly predictable and mundane,
Yeah.
that's a powerful message.
It is. The Codex encourages us to embrace the unknown, to cultivate a sense of wonder, to never stop questioning.
The Codex has definitely had an impact beyond the world of art and literature. I mean, you see its influence in music, film, even video games.
Absolutely. Think about the band Tool, for example.
Oh, yeah.
They've incorporated Codex-inspired imagery into their album art and music videos.
Right.
Or the video game developer Jonathan Blow.
Okay.
He cited the Codex as an inspiration for his puzzle game, The Witness. It's a testament to the power of the Codex, that it can inspire creativity across so many different disciplines.
It's a work that continues to resonate with people from all walks of life, sparking their imaginations and encouraging them to think outside the box.
And that's what makes the Codex so special. It's a work that can be appreciated on multiple levels.
Yeah.
You can enjoy it simply for its visual beauty, or you can delve deeper into its mysteries and symbolism. It's a book that you can return to again and again, and each time you'll find something new to marvel at,
Right.
to ponder, to question.
Some people have even suggested that the Codex could be a form of alien communication,
Really?
a message from another world.
It's a very tantalizing thought, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we know so little about the vastness of the universe and the possibility of life beyond our planet.
Right.
What if the Codex is a glimpse into that unknown?
Yeah.
A message from a civilization far more advanced than our own.
The illustrations with their strange creatures and otherworldly landscapes definitely lend themselves to that interpretation.
And if that were the case, imagine the implications. It would mean that we're not alone in the universe, that there are other intelligent beings out there who are trying to communicate with us.
Of course, there's no way to prove or disprove that theory,
Right.
but it's a testament to the power of the Codex that it can spark such wild speculation and wonder.
It also makes you think about the nature of language and communication.
Yeah.
If we were to encounter an alien civilization, how would we even begin to communicate with them?
Right.
Would words be enough? Or would we need to develop new forms of communication, perhaps something more akin to the visual language of the Codex?
The Codex forces us to confront those questions, to think about the limitations of our current understanding of language and communication.
Yeah, it suggests that there are other ways of conveying meaning, other ways of understanding the world.
Right.
And perhaps by studying the Codex, we can begin to expand our own capacity for communication and understanding.
And that brings us back to the idea of the Codex as a mirror, reflecting back to us our own hopes, fears, and desires. What we see and the interpretations we come up with might say more about us than it does about the book itself.
It's a reminder that we all bring our own baggage, our own experiences and biases to the table when we try to make sense of the world. And the Codex, by refusing to offer any easy answers, forces us to confront those biases and to consider other perspectives.
It's a humbling experience in a way. It reminds us that we don't have all the answers and that there's still so much out there that we don't understand.
But it's also an incredibly exciting experience. The Codex is an invitation to explore, to question, to imagine.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that there's still magic in the world if we're willing to look for it.
So what does this all mean for you?
Yeah.
Well, the Codex Seraphinianus is like a journey into the unknown.
It is.
It's a chance to step outside of your comfort zone, to challenge your assumptions, to expand your horizons. It's a book that can change the way you see the world.
It's a reminder that there are still mysteries out there waiting to be discovered, secrets waiting to be uncovered. And who knows, maybe you'll be the one to finally crack the code of the Codex.
Here's a final thought to leave you with. If you could create your own page for the Codex, what would it depict? What mysteries or ideas would you try to express in this enigmatic language?
The Codex Seraphinianus is a testament to the power of human creativity and imagination. It's a work that challenges us to think differently, to see the world with new eyes. And it's a reminder that there's still so much out there that we don't know so much that remains to be discovered. So go out there, explore, and never stop wondering.